This is Ursula Hogan. Welcome you to News Extra on Scariff Community Radio, where we feature interviews which go into detail on some of the events that are happening in the area. Tourism East Clare is an organisation dedicated to promote the tourist industry in the region. The AGM is coming up next week and a new promotional video is also being launched. The group's chairperson, Arlene White, chatted to Jim Collins this week ahead of the AGM.
Now, I'm delighted to be joined on the line by the chairperson of Tourism East Clare, Arlene White. Arlene, you're very welcome again to Scariff Bay Community Radio.
Thanks, Jim. How are you?
Very well, thank you, and now all well. And Arlene, you're based in Killaloe, but as I said, you're chairperson of Tourism East Clare. And I suppose, hopefully this year, Arlene, that we see more tourists around. We're getting to the stage where the tourism industry hopefully will make a good recovery.
Hopefully, yeah, it's looking like that. And I think as well as international visitors, starting to come in particular into Shannon Airport, we will benefit from domestic tourists as well, because I think through, the lockdowns and people not travelling and all that kind of thing, people have just realised how beautiful our own country is, and especially this area. We've had reports of a lot of people saying, God, I never knew you could, go kayaking, go swimming, go on the lake, go hill walking, all in one area. So, yeah, we'll see a lot of domestic returning as well as the international this year.
Yes, and Shannon seems to be making, something of a recovery. I mean, it's not going to be back probably to what it was in 2019 for a little while yet, but it's getting there, and certainly a big improvement over the last couple of years.
I think so, yeah, and there's more flights being introduced, and the as you said, obviously visitor numbers aren't going to return to 2019 numbers for a little while, but definitely there is a lot more activity around. And yeah, you'd hope that with the introduction of new flights and everything, that it would, new routes, say through Ryanair, that it would bring in different visitors in as well to experience the area.
Yes. Listen, I suppose before we want to talk to you about the upcoming AGM and video launch, but before that, maybe tell us, what is Tourism East Clare, and who's involved, and what kind of work do you do in promoting tourism?
Well, Tourism East Clare is basically just a group of individuals that either own their own tourism businesses or work in tourism businesses or different community groups and things. And we just basically have come together to try and promote East Clare as a holiday destination. We have so much to offer here. It's just amazing. So it's basically coming together of like-minded individuals, I suppose. What we do, we've done a lot. While we couldn't do a huge amount of promotion, I suppose, over the last 2 years, but we've been working away behind the scenes. We managed to get funding through Leader, through Clare Local Development Company, and we were able to employ someone to kind of work on the development of our network and, a plan to go forward for marketing when things opened up again. So we're working on that. And we have Aoife O'Mara, who's fantastic in marketing and social media, and, just very, very, very with it and in tune with it, which is fantastic. So she's constantly promoting members and, just highlighting things that are taking place around the area. It's basically like, as well, I suppose we're linked in with Ireland's Hidden Heartlands, as people know, but that's, I think, a perfect match for us here in East Clare, because it's kind of promotion of slow tourism and getting active in nature and everything, which is, we have an abundance. We have walking, we have kayaking, we have sailing, we have swimming,
Yes.
History, culture, everything. And it's just to get that out there and promote that, and as I said, make it a great destination for people to visit, to promote the fact that it is.
And I suppose great musical entertainment as well, with festivals and sessions and things like that. So East Clare
Exactly,
really has an awful lot to offer.
It does really. When when you look at every town and village within East Clare, within the boundary, if you like, of East Clare, like there's so much going on. And people kind of sometimes think that, like a local trad session or whatever may not necessarily be for tourists, but that's exactly what they're looking for.
Yes.
And every town and village has things like that going on, which is amazing. Yeah. And combine it all together, it's a fantastic package to be able to offer people.
Yeah, and you were saying that East Clare Tourism East Clare is made up of those people involved with their own business or working in the tourist industry. I suppose it's important, Arlene, that various people, even though their obviously primary concern is their own business, but they probably do need to get together to offer a complete package to the tourist.
Well, that's it. I mean, like everyone in the tourism industry was hit so hard over the last 2 years, and people, I suppose, realise the importance of networking with other members and being aware of what else is going on. The other tourism businesses in the area. It's very hard to do it alone, So, like, if you're, as you say, kind of looking at a package, if you're working away with 2 or 3 other providers in your area or nearby, and able to either promote a package or even be able to promote the other people that are in your area through your website or something. Visitors aren't going to come and just do one thing. They want to know all the activities and attractions that are there. So it's by, being able to promote that, each individual business being able to promote that and work with other providers to sell it like that to the visitor. That's really, I think, what's going to make it work as a destination. As a destination,
yeah. And I suppose to that end, you are shortly going to launch a video to give people an idea of what's available in East Clare. Tell us about that, Arlene.
Yeah, it's just a very quick taster session. We were, after our AGM last year, we were actually awarded some funding through Fáilte Ireland. They were providing funding to tourism networks around the region, and we were lucky enough to get funding through that. So we got Ruth Griffin Photography, and she was going around taking, little videos or snippets of what was on offer around the area. Obviously with COVID and everything, there were certain places we couldn't get to, but just a very brief kind of insight to East Clare. And then we have Collini Lua, which are a very up-and-coming kind of a trad band here based in Killaloe. And they composed a song or a ballad or whatever, and that's kind of in the background of it. And Aoife put it all together, then Aoife O'Mara, our marketing person here, put it all together. So it's, as I said, it's just over 1.5 minutes, and it's a very brief taster of just East Clare, and a couple of different activities and things that it has to offer. Yes. So we, as I said, with COVID restrictions and everything has been a little bit delayed. We had hoped to launch it a bit earlier in the year, but we're going to launch it at the very beginning of our AGM next Wednesday night, the 1st of June.
Lovely. And of course, I suppose people will be able to find it on various social media platforms, probably YouTube and Facebook, etc., etc.
Yes, once we have it launched on Wednesday night, we'll be putting it out there as much as possible, sharing it through our own social media platforms, and we'd hope that, or we'd encourage all tourism businesses in the area and community groups and everything to share it as well. And we'll be obviously sharing it with the national bodies, and Clare Tourism, and then Fáilte Ireland and Discover Ireland, and just trying to get it out there. Yes. As much as possible.
And showcase the magic that is East Clare.
Exactly, yeah. That's and a very quick, because obviously people aren't going to watch a 5 or 6 minute video. So it's just a very quick snapshot of what we have to offer. And we hope it'll get a massive reach. So,
and tell me, your AGM, which, as you say, takes place next Wednesday evening, are there any, if there may be people out there involved in the tourism business which maybe aren't aware of it or had forgotten about the AGM, can they sign in to link up with you?
Yeah, what we're asking people to do is just send us an email, to secretary@tourismeastclare.ie. And if you just send an email to register, what we'll do is send you out the Zoom link about 24 hours before the AGM, because it's all going ahead on Zoom. So anyone that has a tourism business, works in a tourism business, or just has an interest in tourism in the region, everyone is welcome to come along on the night and just see. We will have Deirdre O'Shea, the acting head of tourism for Clare County Council. She will give a little bit of information on the night on the marketing initiatives. We will have Sinead Cahalan, who is the marketing officer for Discover Lough Derg. And we will have Tony Dawson from Fáilte Ireland, so he would be involved in the Hidden Heartlands team. He will just give a little bit of an update on the night as well, and we will hope to have Joan Tarmy as well, who will provide some information on the progress with ehChampionship.
Lovely.
So we'll have a
great source of information for people in the business.
Yeah, again, it's just, it won't be, hopefully won't be long-winded or anything, but it's just literally everyone from the different areas that, that cover our region, East Clare, just talking about what's been done and what are the plans going forward. So people can kind of maybe tie in with it, or, just find out a little bit more about how to get going with promotion and that kind of thing.
And the email address again is
secretary at tourismeastclare.ie.
Secretary at tourismeastclare.ie. That should be easy enough for people to take note of. And I suppose one of the exciting things, or some of the exciting things that are happening for East Clare, is the new Greenway, which is in the planning stages at the moment, and I suppose in ehChampionship, Holy Island, at the north end of Lough Derg. So those are things which will hopefully help open up East Clare together with all the attractions that are there at the moment. Yeah.
I think it is really, it's East Clare's time, I think, now. It really is, for the last number of years, between, as I said, aligning with Ireland's Hidden Heartlands and the development of ehChampionship and, as you say, the Greenway as well. It's just, I think it's a good time for East Clare. So hopefully it will continue like that.
Great. Well, listen, Arlene, first of all, thank you for coming on and telling us about that this evening. Good luck with the AGM, which takes place next Wednesday night on Zoom. Secretary at tourismeastclare.ie if you're interested in joining. And well done for all the work that you and your organisation does to put East Clare on the map. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks very much, Jim.
This Clare senior camogie team played the first round of the All-Ireland Championship last weekend. They drew with neighbours Tipperary in the Rag, and after the game, Leo Doyle and Pat McNamara spoke with team manager John Carmody.
And now we're joined here by a well relieved and happy joint manager of the Clare camogie team, John Carmody. John, you're welcome once again. John, that was pulsating.
Well, I don't know, am I happy or I suppose I'm a bit relieved. I suppose over the course we were a bit tired today. I felt we had the chances to win the game, we didn't take them. Particularly first half, we did a few bad ways.
John, did you know the last game was when that you had to score the right from the half-back line? Did he signal that you had to go the right? Because when you got the ball, it was scored in the half.
We didn't pass when the ball dropped. There might have been a few more seconds left. No, look, overall, proud of the girls. Plenty parts were there. I mean, Tip went 2 points up again, I think, and we started that. And just we were broke hard today, but I think there's more in us. But look, it's the great results. It's the results that could be huge at the latter end of the championship. In a way, we've got a top next week now, and
It's a free shot. It's a free shot again, John.
It kind of is, yeah. But I suppose it's going to be a bit like the Munster Hurling Championship, you know. There's 5 games, and it's probably going to come down to the last game. That could be a very valuable point there.
And Dean, John, you know, as you said, Clare looked tired at times today. It's understandable on the road so many weeks in a row, and having to go again out to Cork next weekend. You know, you couldn't have a harder start to the championship, coming to the rank, hitting the park every year. But you know one thing, and you just showed me Clare last week, as it was again today, there's no give up in these days.
Oh, absolutely not. No, the least is going. Trying to wait to stay for Cork next week now. They're playing again today, so I think they're probably in a row. So I think it'll be a bit more even Steven. I think they have the extra days, you know, I suppose we're out here earlier this evening, so I just think we'll be in a better place next week. I think we'll be fresher as the Ursula Dublin coming on there. She'll have another week's training under her belt. Her power is improving by the week. So, you know, our options are sitting all the time. So.
Yeah, and I suppose when Venison came back, and of course the old soldier herself, what a free from 80 yards going home. He split the post to 11 the game.
Yeah, I think head and shoulders, so he was the best player on the field today. Even in the first half, he had a brilliant catch under pressure down the run, 21 yard line and drug out. Very pleased with her performance, great leadership. And yeah, as I say, it takes some stuff to stand up to pressure free like that and nail the black spot, so we're delighted with that.
John, I suppose the next week, definitely after the journeys you've been on, it's all about recovery again.
It's been recovery for 3 weeks now, Leo. I suppose, you know, we've got to get them in and get them.
You look like a man that could go recovery yourself.
Well, maybe, but we've got to get them in next week and get them doing a bit of training. You know, there's a bit of that. I think there's a bit of sharpness listening is there today, so look at they'll recover tomorrow on Monday, and we'll hopefully get a bit of training in the coming week.
And John, of course, now there's a small battle tomorrow of a junior championship game against Mayo, and what an outing for the Clare juniors playing before the Clare Bottom Senior Hurling Championship game.
It's a great boost for those girls. I suppose we want to win the Munster Championship to get out and to get into Cusick Park and to get a chance to play in front of a crowd and show what hurling they can do. So again, that team, you know, I think while we won the Munster Championship last week, we weren't happy with the performance. So we haven't thought we're expecting a performance for the Euro after tomorrow, regardless of the opposition. There'll be bigger days ahead, and I'm not underestimating Mayo. That probably sounds wrong, but we think we need an hour hurling of that team tomorrow if we're going to contest that All-Ireland Endurance Championship.
There's no doubt, John. We wish you look at a man that could do this into recovery. You want to get home early to the hills of Carmody this evening. John, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Congratulations again on pulling a marvellous draw out of here in the rank.
Thanks, sir.
Good shot.
You have been listening to News Extra on Scariff Bay Community Radio. Join us again next weekend and we will keep you updated on local events. This is Ursula Hogan for Scariff Bay Community Radio.